What do you think when you look at me? Thanks. Sometimes when I'm in the public, I'm from Indonesia. Sometimes when I tell the country name, I automatically become from Pakistan, since my country name has Stan suffix. And other times, I'm Chinese, coming from mainland China because I look alike. Well, my name is Saya. I'm from Kazakhstan. There is nothing wrong being mistaken for other ethnicity. That's not what I mean. After all we know, we Asians, we resemble a bit of in terms of appearance and in terms of practices and cultures and the languages. I moved to Hong Kong 3 years ago for work purposes. Since then, I've been asked the same questions nearly every day. Are you an Indonesian? What's your Chinese name? Are you sure that you don't have Chinese ancestors? You know my reply? Please ask my parents. I don't know. Since then, when people recognized me as Pakistani, as Indonesian, as Chinese, I was quite sure that I was slowly realizing that I want to be recognized as Central Asian. And I was met total obliviousness towards Central Asian culture. I wanted people to know where we came from, how do we look like, and what defines our culture. But most importantly, I wanted people to embrace how diverse is Hong Kong, how diverse its ethnic composition. I had this idea in my mind, but I had no idea where to start. One day, of course, I could talk to my friends. I could talk to people around me, spread the information. But how can I reach out and become part of this greater community? I finally got the chance. It was an ordinary day. I met the lady in the mosque, and she stopped and looked at me and said, "Are you from Kazakhstan? You're looking mix of Asian and European, and you speak fluent Russian." These were the hints for her to guess exactly where I came from. And I was quite happy. I got little acknowledgement because of my culture. And this lady, later on, she became one of the colleagues on founding Central Asian Center in Hong Kong. But I'm getting ahead of myself. When I was growing up in Kazakhstan, I always thought that international city means where the various nationalities and ethnic groups come together and they mingle with each other from different cultures to share the common humanity, the common traditions, and celebrate the diversity. And in Kazakhstan, I used to think that my country is not international enough because we don't have foreign people and ethnic minorities. And I used to think that it is not international at all. But definitely, maybe Kazakhstan is not international, but it is extremely multicultural. Well, we come to Hong Kong. We know it's jewel of the Orient and the place with the rich British culture, celebrated for its internationalism. When I was moving to Hong Kong, I was quite excited to live in this such international environment. Unfortunately, I was sorely disappointed. In this, I slowly began to realize that international does not mean multicultural integrated. Hong Kong is the city with these different ethnicities and nationalities that happen to live in one place. Our relationship with different ethnic groups within the merely of coexistence. It's not integration at all. Of course, you can get Americans, Europeans, Japanese, Koreans, and Chinese, but their interaction and the socialization is the same skin of color or the same ethnic background. Is that what we call international? In Kazakhstan, in contrary, where there are hundreds of people and from various nationalities, they mingle with each other. And when we celebrate Easter, we visit the Russians, and the Russians come to our Eid celebrations. There were no cultural boundaries, and there were no ethnic boundaries at all. We grew up like this, and we grew up together. But if you say that Hong Kong is not multicultural or not multi-ethnical enough, I can argue with you. According to the statistics, more than 587 people living in Hong Kong, they represent other countries. More than 500,000 people living in Hong Kong, they're from other cultures and traditions. A person coming from 18 million citizens, I can tell that's a lot. Maybe we just don't see them. Another thing that bothered me deeply while I was working at one of the reputable universities in Hong Kong, I saw a clear division between students. And having spent 2 years in that environment, I saw the division of students, foreign students being separated themselves. As students from mainland China, they had a separate group, and the locals used to stick to each other. Is that really internationalism? Faced with this dilemma of separation in Hong Kong, me and my other like-minded people, we established Central Asian Center to raise the cross-cultural awareness between Hong Kong and Central Asians living in Hong Kong. We think that cultural awareness is the key to understand, to start appreciate the diversity of Hong Kong. And we believe it can be achieved through different things. To see the difference between people from other countries and ourselves in terms of values and attitudes. Central Asian culture, we wanted to bridge the gap between locals and Central Asians living in Hong Kong. To spread the knowledge and misconception of Central Asian, we started to do it in various ways. So firstly, we started to organize travel and cultural talks. And recently, we've done Central Asian Culture Festival, where we went to the street to make a performance, to engage public to our activities. And we know that Hong Kong is all about food. Therefore, we started to organize, to engage the people with our cooking activities and dinner talks with various experts. And moreover, we wanted people to understand us in our language. So we started to organize cultural language exchange classes where we teach people Kazakh and learn Cantonese. And moreover, we found the support of local media in different programs, such as TV programs, newspapers, and the social media platforms. And we organized practical trips and study trips to Kazakhstan and Central Asian countries. And one of the experiences I wanted to share with you is our trip to Kazakhstan last year with primary school kids. Before launching this trip, we were quite doubting that. Whether is it worth it and where we can do it or not. It was quite a bit of responsibility for our team when we brought 25 people, including 10 primary school kids, to explore Kazakhstan through our eyes. And in this sense, the kids had an extremely welcoming, traditional experience, and our team, we were so excited for such a journey. And these came from different backgrounds from Hong Kong, and 4 of them being ethnic minorities. They had a task of accomplishing throughout the journey, and they were cooperating and exploring other countries' culture at a young age. And I want to share one last thing of this trip. This is the message of our kid before he departed to Hong Kong. If you think culture is a small matter, I can assure you it is not. Cultural awareness is something beyond the different food, lifestyle, and the languages. We need to understand it is shared values and attitudes by humanity, but different groups. And we know that major governmental, societal, and economical crises start with the fear and misconception of the other race, religion, and the culture. What if we could be the different and accept each other to live in a peace? What if every Hong Konger could do some effort to make it multicultural enough? I have some suggestions for you. If you are a Hong Konger, please look around your neighborhood. Help other ethnicities to integrate better. And if you are non-local, please share your food, explain your traditions, and invite your local friends over food. We, together, have to turn our apathy into empathy, our ignorance into a knowledge. This is the way to better understanding a real internationalism of Hong Kong. And so one day, locals and the so-called ethnic minorities can call themselves a Hong Konger by respecting and seeing the difference despite of being other nationality. Believe me, being 0.001% of the population of Hong Kong, I can tell you, you can still contribute to make Hong Kong multicultural. And my story is an example. Thank you.